It was 8:15 a.m. I was just walking my dog. 20 minutes later, I was handcuffed in the back of a police car. Marcus Lane, 35, a college counselor and grad, had a routine. Every morning at the same time, he would walk his pit bull Bronx through the local city park. Bronx, always on a leash, would stand calmly to his left. The weather was cool and pleasant, and the park was nearly empty. It was supposed to be a normal morning, until a moment beyond Marcus's control changed everything. Suddenly, a large German shepherd charged toward Bronx. His owner, a white man in his 40s dressed in athletic gear, laughed and said, "He's just playing. Don't be afraid." But Bronx sensed danger and barked. Marcus instinctively backed away, trying to protect his dog. "Hey," Marcus raised his voice. "Your dog is off leash. Control him. I'm afraid he's going to hurt me and my dog." The man's tone changed instantly. "Don't yell at me! Who do you think you are yelling at me?" he shouted. Then he stepped forward aggressively. "You scared my dog. You're threatening me." As Marcus backed away, the man pulled out his phone. "I'm calling the police. He's threatening me and setting his dog on me. He's acting like he's armed." A few minutes later, sirens could be heard in the distance. 2 white police officers arrived and went straight for Marcus. "Hands up, now, or I'll have to use force." Marcus was stunned. "What? They slammed him to the ground. Bronx barked in concern. Marcus's face hit the ground. The other man stood next to him, calm and unconcerned. His clothes were still spotless. As Marcus sat handcuffed in the police car, only one thought echoed in his mind. I was just walking. But the system saw my skin and labeled me a threat. Marcus sat in a holding cell. His clothes were dirty, wrists sore from the cuffs. Bronx had been taken to an animal shelter. He had no idea if his dog was okay. During his interrogation, one officer took notes while the other watched Marcus intently. "Did the man walking his dog attack you?" "No." Were you the one who raised your voice first?" "No. I was just..." But nothing he said made it into the report. Later, the official police statement read, "The suspect exhibited aggressive behavior despite officer instructions." The complainant stated he felt threatened and fearful. There were no witnesses present. Marcus had a veterinary report showing bite marks on Bronx. But that document was never added to the case file. Body cam footage? Failed to upload. The camera existed, but the footage mysteriously didn't. His wife, Jasmine, was in disbelief when she heard the news. The idea that Marcus could be involved in a crime was laughable. She took to social media, posting, "My husband was in the park with our dog. Our dog was the one bitten. Yet Marcus is the one being charged." Then, that night, a message arrived. A young stranger had written, "Hey, I was flying my drone in the park that morning. I might have caught the whole thing on video." Jasmine immediately contacted Leah Morgan, a civil rights attorney. The footage would be reviewed. If the video was clear, it wouldn't just be about Marcus anymore. It would be about the system. When Leah Morgan first watched the video, she didn't say a word, but her eyes were locked on the screen. The footage was clear, the angle perfect, and even the audio had been captured. The young man flying the drone that morning had been filming for a local nature project, but his drone had unintentionally recorded everything that happened to Marcus. The white man's dog was completely off-leash and charging uncontrollably. Marcus's dog, Bronx, barked, but backed away. Marcus only raised his voice once to say, "Control your dog." The white man started yelling, swearing. Just before the police arrived, the man faked a panic call, his voice shaking, as if terrified. This footage could change everything. Leah immediately submitted the video as evidence to the prosecutor's office. The reply came quickly and bluntly. The footage may be out of context and might not reflect the full event. It was a clear attempt to dismiss the truth, but Leah didn't stop. She had the footage reviewed by an independent expert. Audio analysis, GPS timestamps, and metadata all confirmed its authenticity. Meanwhile, social media had already caught fire. #Justice for Marcus. Within 24 hours, the video had millions of views. People weren't just talking about Marcus. They were questioning the justice system itself. A court date was set. This was no longer about a dog park dispute. It had become a reckoning with a justice system tainted by bias. But the jury? All white. As Leah entered the courtroom, only one thought echoed in her mind. If truth exists, then so does hope. The courtroom was packed. Journalists, civil rights advocates, law students, everyone had gathered to witness the trial of Marcus Lane. As he buttoned his jacket and stepped to the front, his posture was steady. Leah Morgan stood just behind him, organized, confident, and ready. The prosecution called the white man to testify first. He spoke in a trembling voice. "I was just walking my dog," and this black man started yelling at me out of nowhere. I felt threatened. He reached into his pocket. I thought he might pull a weapon. I didn't know what to expect. Murmurs echoed through the room. Leah approached the bench calmly. She submitted Marcus's clean criminal record, Bronx's certified training papers, and the vet report proving Bronx had been bitten. Then she dropped the real bomb. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what you're about to watch will show you the truth. The drone footage began to play. The courtroom fell silent. Jurors watched, eyes fixed, faces tense. When it ended, Leah spoke again. This wasn't just a park incident. This was a reflection of a system where a man is perceived as a threat simply because of his skin color, where truth is buried and lies are protected. The prosecutor quickly objected. The footage is incomplete. There may be seconds missing. Feelings of threat are subjective. Leah turned and addressed the jury directly. Subjective fear? If a black man can be seen as a threat without even raising his voice, then Marcus isn't the only one on trial here. We all are. The judge ruled that the drone footage would be accepted as official evidence. Jury deliberation was postponed to the following day. As they left the courtroom, Marcus leaned toward Leah and whispered, "For the first time, I actually feel heard." The courtroom was silent on the morning of the verdict, but the tension hung thick in the air. Every seat was filled, every breath held. Marcus adjusted his jacket with a strange sense of calm on his face, like a man who had fought the biggest battle of his life and now stood at the mercy of a roll of the dice. The jury entered. The foreperson stood and opened the slip of paper, then turned to face the room. "We find the defendant, Marcus Lane, not guilty on all charges." A moment of complete silence. Then, an audible exhale rippled through the courtroom. Some cried, some bowed their heads. Leah wiped her tears and gently touched Marcus's shoulder. Then the judge addressed the court. "In addition, the witness who testified will be investigated for making a false statement. The officers involved in the arrest will also be subject to a formal review by the Department of Internal Affairs." Marcus's eyes welled up. He stood and scanned the room. This wasn't just an acquittal. It was a crack in the walls of a system, a scream from a truth long buried. Outside, reporters swarmed with microphones. Marcus stood tall. When he spoke, his words echoed with the weight of millions whose voices had been ignored. "I was just walking my dog, but the system saw my walk as a threat. Racism doesn't always shout. It doesn't always punch. Sometimes it just silences you. Sometimes it just looks at you like you're already guilty. Today, a drone spoke, because I couldn't. Tomorrow, someone else will speak, because truth cannot be silenced." His words went viral. Social media exploded. The #sign we walked with Marcus trended worldwide. Marcus was no longer just a man walking his dog. He had become a symbol for those forced into silence. The next morning, Marcus returned to the park. This time, Bronx wasn't on a leash. He ran freely. Marcus looked up at the sky, wondering if another drone might be watching. But this time, not to accuse him, to protect him.